much for being here with us and participating at our forum. And I wanted to ask you, because I hear a lot about tri-sector athletes, and I heard it from you first. You seem to have a lot of experience in this sector. Can you tell me a little bit how these tri-sector athletes are shaping the future of partnerships?
Sure. So, thanks for having me. I would say that what's happening is that people are moving around a lot more, right? People don't keep jobs the way my dad did. My dad worked at the same place for 25 years doing construction management. People in our generation and younger are changing jobs every 3 to 5 years, sometimes even less. And as a result of that, they're developing a more diverse skill set. Even Entrepreneur Magazine last week had an article about how a nonlinear career is most beneficial in today's business market. And I think that's just true for NGOs as well. So as we see the public sector moving to collaborative governance frameworks and economic statecraft, and we have the Global Partnering Initiative, where you're in the private sector and you're supposed to have the capacity to talk to the government and the government to the private sector. Within my team, within World Vision, we recognize that both for our private donors as well as our public donors and the communities we serve, we need to be bringing resources from a whole mix of organizations that lead to sustainable development. And that's what's driving organizations, nonprofit and for-profit and government, to attract and retain people with experiences across multiple sectors.
I think you're right, and I understand it as the forum progresses. You have to move very well and speak all languages. And people in NGOs, international NGOs, are adapting to this change. So what do you think early adapters are doing in terms of innovation in partnerships?
Mm-hmm. So there are several things that NGOs are now doing that it's a way somewhat of rephrasing the work that they do in a way to engage other sectors. So for example, at World Vision we do a lot of projects for the use of mobile technology in health. We have a new partnership with the Gates Foundation and Grameen Foundation to scale up an open source solution to deliver mobile health technologies to community health workers. To do that work, we don't just need health specialists, we don't need people who are just skilled in community engagement. We need those traditional NGO capacities, but we also need people who know telecos, who can speak the language of groups like GSMA and ITU, which are the big associations for mobile technology related companies. And we need people who can translate that and broker a deal the way that you would broker a merger and acquisition deal, which is my background is as a technical lawyer doing mergers and acquisitions around the world, and that skill translates directly to developing those types of partnerships from an NGO base.
Okay, great. Thank you, David. And how do you think the workforce will change in terms of development and humanitarian relief from now on? How have you seen it change at World Vision, and how do you envision it will be in 10 years, for example?
So in the humanitarian relief side, this emphasis is a little bit lower, but it's still relevant. So, for example, at World Vision, about a decade ago, World Vision developed internally a technology called Last Mile Mobile Solutions, again, where it required a lot of IT specialists as well as humanitarian relief specialists to develop the right solution to manage relief efforts. Okay. So for creating vouchers and registering people who were subject to the disaster. So that's one area. And in development, what we're seeing is that the types of technical advisors we hire, the types of project managers we hire, we have an expectation in their job descriptions and their KPIs for being able to do a landscape analysis, not just of CSOs in a community, but of the local private sector. And when they're working on a grant application, to be able to figure out the value, doing value chain assessments, and going out and figure out which are the right agricultural businesses or businesses in an enabling environment for that agricultural intervention to engage.
Well, thank you very much. I think you've given us a lot to think about, and we appreciate your business.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.